All right, today is Monday, October 21st, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard. This is the weekly market review. We'll talk through some of the trades that we're looking at, some potential opportunities, as well as the current positions we're in. So let's start with current positions we're in. So we are currently shorting South African Rand. We're shorting Australian dollar. We're also shorting the Japanese yen. And we are long the NASDAQ. So that is our only current positions here, some currency trades and long NASDAQ. Now, what are we currently looking at and where have we taken some profits? So gold and silver both ripping higher. Silver actually hitting an 11-year high as of Friday and opening up and gapping up about 2% on the Sunday open last night. And gold also hitting a record high here. So breaking above about 27.50 and now having a little bit of a minor pullback here off the top of the channel. Really, really great. As far as these trades here, we took profits on silver last Friday, I believe, Thursday or Friday. We took some profits. We had a profit target that we exceeded, and we took profits there. Gold, we are still looking to get in on a position here. I would also like to get in on silver if we see any major kind of retests, kind of like the correction. If we look on the daily here, we've had these minor kind of dips before the new high, right? So if we can get in on the next dip, per Elliott wave theory, I see this thing continuing higher, especially given the fact that we're at an 11-year high. There's a lot of momentum and a lot of volume pouring into silver now. Same thing with gold. Escalations in the Middle East, just global geopolitical conflicts. We've got U.S. elections coming up. There's a lot of reasons, and China doing stimulus. There's just a lot of reasons for gold and silver to continue this trajectory higher. And we don't see any sign of crowding yet as far as silver and gold. When we look at the commitment of traders, there's not this massive crowding of the currencies or of the silver and gold commodities. So that shows us that there's still some really good trades here and some upside. Now you have to be careful with risk and reward and figure out where to enter and where to put your stops, but there's still a lot of movement here on the upside here, and these to me are considered good momentum trades. They're not good from a reversal crowding standpoint. They're good as momentum buys, and they're continuing up, and the thesis is really intact for gold and silver to continue on higher. Now, other momentum trades that I'm looking at, if we look down here on our column here, I still think heating oil could be a good upside trade. So we'll talk, I guess, just trades in general. That's not necessarily a momentum trade here, but heating oil and crude oil, we're trying to find a bottom here. We're up 1.5% today. Not sure if that's going to be a confirmed bottom here, if we're going to continue higher. We have the Wednesday inventory report to look at. I'm also liking positions potentially going along the 5-year notes because there is some crowding that we're starting to see there. US dollar going long, I think this thesis stays intact as well. It's up almost 0.5% today. It's just hard to find a dip for us to get back in on that position, so we're not going to chase it. It's a missed opportunity. We're in on other trades that are similar, like the short on the Aussie dollar or the short on the yen, which is actually having a really good performance today, down almost 0.65%, down almost a percent really today. And then cotton long, we're seeing as a potential setup here. It's up 1.7% today. It's kind of stuck in this channel right now. Not really seeing an opportunity to buy just yet, but commitment to traders is showing us that there's some opportunities in these areas. Now, as far as momentum, or before we go momentum, the other setups that we're seeing as far as commitment to traders, live cattle. I think live cattle is going to show a really good opportunity here for us to go short. It's just a matter of picking what day we're going to go short. Also stuck in a channel right now, so we'll look for that channel to break before we consider going in on the short side. And then the Russell short is another one that we're seeing, which is actually down 1.5% today. So a nice, we had kind of a correlation failure, but Russell's never really that correlated. I mean, these stock indices kind of go all over the place. But Russell is down 1.5 today, so that would have been a good short opportunity. We just need to find an opportunity where it makes sense to get in there on the short side. I just don't know if we're going to see this thing continue down or if we're going to see this thing rocket all the way through the election. Now, the other setups we're looking at from a momentum standpoint, Ethereum long. And Ethereum's actually holding up really well today compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin trying to test a breakout out of this channel here, but getting rejected. Ethereum I see as a really good long opportunity, and I'm actually looking to get in on an ETF since the futures are a little bit difficult for us to trade, given the sizing. So I'm looking to get in on the Ethereum ETF and start an accumulation of a position there. Silver momentum on the long side. I have it written down as a short here as well. We could try to short it for a pullback since it's gone kind of parabolic to the upside, but I think silver or even gold are good momentum trades on the long side. And if we looked at our momentum indicator, which I can just kind of throw the study on here, we'll see that gold's actually a buy. We had a recent buy signal for gold, so it does make sense for us to get in on the position. I'm just going to reset that chart. It makes sense for us to get in there, but we need to pull back before I'm comfortable getting in on those positions. And then there's some stuff we'll review later in the week, but I'll cover this stuff all in the weekly report. We'll cover current trades we're in. We'll cover what we're looking at in the market. The other final trade here that we just took profit on was natural gas short. Natural gas reversing today with a green candle after a lot of downward pressure. I'd like to see some follow through in order for us potentially flipping long. The commitment of traders is starting to show us that natural gas could be set up for a position to go long. So that's just another position we're looking at. But otherwise, we're in on those active positions. Like we said, short Aussie dollars, short the South African rand, short the yen, and long on the NASDAQ. And I want to just reiterate and pull open this chart one more time here. The commitment of traders data on the South African rand is it's just insane. And when you think about what does this actually mean, this means that speculators have really piled in on the long side, right? So you've had all these speculators that have been pushing the South African rand up. Eventually, these people are going to need to take profits, or if the position shifts and price action shows some negativity, like the commercials have been planning for, we could see a really drastic move in the other direction here. This is really about the magnitude of the move, as you know, if you listen to Larry Williams, a longtime trader here, he'll talk about how the commitments of traders identify, the velocity of a move. So if this were to shift directions here and this were to kind of clear up with how, if this were to go more neutral, that would be a pretty violent move to the downside potentially on the South African rand. So we're currently in those positions hoping for a pretty significant drop here, and the price action is looking pretty well supporting of a shift in sentiment here. I mean, we're in this kind of channel to the downside here. And I guess we could even maybe draw one here potentially. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of selling pressure here on the brand. So we're going to continue following that down, see if this will break down lower, and we've got some profit targets set up here. But that's what we're looking at, and we'll talk again. I will get that report published, and yeah, we'll talk again later in the week. Thanks.